Today, I'm going to help you narrow down your gut symptom root causes so you can focus on the right things, so stay tuned. Hey there, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Amanda Malachewski. I'm a certified functional nutrition health coach and a digestive and allergy detective. I help people with unpredictable bloating, constipation, and diarrhea go from food anxiety, endless questions, and second guessing to a confident plan for calm digestion. For tips and tricks on how to achieve this mission for yourself, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. If you're having unexplained or unpredictable bloating, diarrhea, or constipation, I'm sure one of the top questions on your mind is, why the heck is this happening? And so by the end of today's video, you'll know how to narrow down the hundreds of possible options to a much narrower range of choices so that you can get where you'd like to go faster. Be sure to stick around till the end to find out how I can help you with this process. But in the meantime, I want to just let you know that my client Judy used this process to figure out what was going on for her that was causing her persistent diarrhea that had been going on for an entire year. She resolved it. You can too. So let's get started. Now, when I was sick with unpredictable and frequent diarrhea years ago, I just thought I needed to kind of run through the checklist of things that I was learning about online that were going to help me, things like that you're probably looking into too, things like probiotics and enzymes and, the paleo diet or the FODMAP diet or, various supplements and techniques and approaches. But what I wasn't doing was working on understanding how or why the symptoms were happening. And this was a crucial oversight because many of the things that I was trying to help myself feel better were actually making things worse. They were not right for my body, but I didn't understand this because I had not done the appropriate assessment. But how do you figure out what these right causes are for you so that you can get started doing the right things? I suspect it might be a question that keeps you up at night like it did for me when I was really sick. So let me show you guys a little trick that I use with my clients to help us get pointed in the right direction and end up kind of in the right neighborhood to start trying things. One of the most important tools that you can use to help yourself answer this question is something called a health history timeline. In my case review process, I help you map out your health history on something called a functional nutrition timeline. It might not seem like a really revolutionary thing, but here's the thing that this special tool gives us the answers to. It helps us answer the question, what else was going on around the same time that you got sick? In most cases, I find that my clients have had one or several events happening right around the time when they got sick. It's usually things like a major stress event, like changing jobs or moving, a divorce, maybe something like starting birth control pills or a course of antibiotics, or even something like food poisoning. All of these events can drastically impact your gut microbiome and the inner ecology and environment of your gut and lead to digestive symptoms. And sometimes it's many of these things all together. It may not just be one thing. So you can create your own personal health timeline really easily just by taking a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper and folding it lengthwise down the middle. And so now you've got two columns. And on the left-hand column, you can write health events. And so this is anything that's happened to you throughout your life history in regards to your health. And you might include things like my headache started, or my constipation started, or I was in a car accident, or anything at all where you noticed that your symptoms changed. And then in the right-hand column, you want to note things that have happened in your life that might contribute to this. So starting a new medication, an accident or injury, a big life event like having a baby or getting married or divorced or the loss of someone you love. So you can fill this out for yourself and map out what this looks like for you. So what does this tell you? It's really one of the most often overlooked clues in your case. When you're dealing with gut symptoms, often what you're seeing on the symptom side are the fallout from changes in the gut microbiome. But we need to understand what changed and led us there in order to take appropriate action. So for example, if your symptoms started around the time that you experienced a major stress in your life, this is an indicator that your nervous system may be imbalanced and maybe needs a little extra special, tender, loving care. This nervous system imbalance can also lead to certain types of nutrient deficiencies as your brain and your nervous system kind of burn through stores of nutrients that they need to do their jobs well. So we have to be thinking in that regard there. Or if your symptoms started around the time you got a case of food poisoning, this can tell us that there may be a latent subclinical infection of some kind that hasn't been fully addressed, or that there's maybe autoimmune damage to the nerves of your gut motility in your gut as a consequence of SIBO. So as you can see, just as with these two examples, understanding what specifically happened around the time your symptoms started can give us some idea of the mechanism of the symptoms and why they're happening. And this can lead us to the right appropriate action. Once you have a sense of how and when things started, you can start developing a hypothesis about why that's happening and create a test to test it out. And what you learn from that experiment informs your next steps. And though there's hundreds of possible causes, there's really only a few categories generally of things that are at play here. And these include things like gut microbiome disturbance, hormones, immune system problems or imbalance or reactivity, and nervous system imbalance. The true cause may be one or several of these areas working together. The trick is to just narrow it down so you're not chasing a million things at once. So tell me, after you've had a chance to think about your timeline, what happened near the time that you got sick? Leave me a comment down below. So once again, using a health history timeline can help you identify your root causes faster so that you can get to results quicker. If you're struggling with unpredictable bloating, constipation, and diarrhea, and you'd like to go from food anxiety, endless questions, and second guessing to a confident plan for calm digestion, I invite you to apply to fill one of the remaining seats in my upcoming program that starts June 29th, 2021. You can schedule a time to hear more about the program by going to confluencenutrition.com/contact. I will leave a link for that below this video. You can schedule what's called a discovery call with me and we can talk about the details. So I hope that this video has inspired you and given you some hope that using the right tools and approach that you can find your root causes and get to a solution faster. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing or sharing it with somebody who you think could use it. And I will see you all next time.